Well, Mana had high hopes for its Waiariki candidate, as Hone said before, but as Hinerangi Goodman reports, it was the Maori Party who held the day there.
He huro nui he wiki tōriatanga. Ka mau tonu te tūru mo te Waiariki, ia te ururoa Flavel o te Pāti Māori.
Kora te wawata i te timatanga mai o te Pāti Māori, kia noho te Pāti Māori, hei tūranga waiwai, mō te Pāti Māori, ka mutu kia noho kōhatu te whakaaro, kia noho tonu te Pāti Māori, hei kaupapa, mō te Waiariki, ka mutu mō te motu.
Mo te wahine tua nei a N.H. Sykes o Mana, he pōnui anō tēnei e whakanui ana, e tōna whānau me ona hoa kai tautoko.
Tino pō a tāhua, kei te hara mai te nuinga mai te kāinga o kāinga roa, te puhi o Pōtiki hoki, he hai te perai ki te whakanui te kaupapa. Ko puta te reo o Mana i te ao.
A hakoa kāre alui te kani o reipa i whai wāhanga ki te tūru o te Waiariki. Engari e mihia tonu ana e ia.
You know, if you don't put your hand up and you have the what-ifs at the end of everything, you can't, honestly say that, well, you've done everything.
I te wā pōti i hiko i tahia e ne tōna whaia me tana tira tautoko, ki te tuku i tana pōti.
Kei te mihi atu kia tūrero me te lui mo tana kaupapa o te rānei hoki.
I tōna ko tahi anō, i tuku a te ururoa Flavel i tana pōti.
Kare aku kōrero mo ngā hoa, e tahi wā he hoa riri, e tahi wā he hoa, e tahi wā he whanaunga. Kone te āhua tango tēnei mea o te tōrangapu.
And the final results saw Te Ururoa Flavel take the seat by 1,820 votes from Annette Sykes, with Labour trailing well behind. Te Ururoa, tēnā koe, congratulations.
Kia Shane.
How are you feeling? It was a tough campaign for you, was some would say a bit dirty there, here and there. How are you feeling now?
Pretty buoyant. I'm very happy. Just by the endorsement of the people of Te Waiariki, in particular all the efforts put in by the branches that we've got throughout the electorate. I'm comfortable with our organisation, and I know that at the end of the day they're the ones that basically pulled it out of the bag for me, because I'm only one person. You need a team behind you, and I thank them for the efforts.
Well, that just leaves us with Te Tai Hau Wauru, and as Carly Hemopo reports, there was never any doubt who would win the seat.
G'day, my name's Michael Laws and this is my Te Ranga Waiwai.
And no, that's definitely not the winner of the seat, I tell you that now. But what we do have is Tariana Turia, and she joins us now. She retains the seat with a 2,760 vote majority, with Labour in second and Greens pipping Mana for third. Tariana Turia, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
It's been a tough campaign for you as well, not only trying to retain your seat, but also in terms of the party as well, Maori Party, trying to get some votes. How are you feeling today?
Well, I'm very pleased to be sitting here with my colleagues from Parliament, and very pleased that we've retained 3 of the seats.
Was there any doubt in your mind that you wouldn't retain your seat?
Well, I hoped not. I hoped not. I mean, in the end, you do rely, as Tūroro said, on your team of workers, your people in the electorate to trust you for another term. And I'm really pleased to have received that endorsement.
Well, I think we have your clip now. We have you at the videotape. It definitely wasn't the one that we just saw. So let's see how the cards fell last night.
Kua taia tangata mai a kuri mai te iwi wānui ki te tuku i a rātou pōti, kia waimana ki te tūru o te tai au Wauru. Ka re tangata mi aro ke atu i te mema Waimarie o te Pāti Māori. I mauri atu e te mema o reipa ana tamariki mokopuna ki te kite i te mai pōti. E rangi tērā tetei paku apa I puta.
Oh, my moko, very creative. She decided to put a little squiggle on my paper.
But it's still legal?
Yes, it's still legal.
Kei te marae o wanga e u te wānau o Tariana, e wakarite ana I te pō wakanui. E rangi kāri I roa I uri te tai. I te paunga o te pō I tai mai te rongo kua riro te tūru a tete I atu o ngā mema o te Pāti Māori. Have you spoken with Rāui tonight?
I rang her earlier, yes. A huge disappointment, of course. What do you need to do for an electorate? How much more do you need to do?
And we're determined to go forward with our other two candidates, Tūroro Preo and Tariana Turia.
Ākua ngā nama wakapuno katoa na te pāti, pea ngē ka whai wā I tonu rātau ki te tēpu wakawiti kōrero.
So I think if we were offered the opportunity, I feel fairly confident we'll give it very serious thought.
Kāore I te mō I o tia a kaimua rawa I te aroaro mō ngā more u tokotoru o te pāti Maori. E rangi koe nei te tū wakangutunga mō Tariana ki te tūru o te tai au Wauru.
So there you have the Māori electorate MPs, and we'll come back to them to talk further about coalitions and kingmakers. But next, our team of analysts will give us their views on the Māori seats. Joining us, we have John Tamihere, Maria Baj, Rawiri Taonui and Willie Jackson. Tēnā koutou.
Kia ora.
JT, let's start with you. Rahui Kātene, her missing out. Are you surprised at that?
Oh, look, I thought it was going to be a tight race, but I was erring on the side of Rahui. Māori Party put a big bust in there. I think she ran an extraordinarily good, energetic campaign, but it wasn't to happen. If you look at the numbers fully, Labour is resurgent in the Māori seats. So if you look at all the numbers across them, the only bright spot for Labour last night was Tira Kātini taking to Taitonga, Damien O'Connor taking back Tasman West Coast, and holding on to Palmerston North. And so, and if you look at the numbers coming back to Labour, it's in the Māori seats that they appear to be resurgent. The message here is either the Mana Party and the Māori Party start to talk because our people didn't turn out, the turnout was lower, they don't like our people fighting one another, and I think it disenhanced the whole process.
Let's talk about the voter turnout, because overall, Maria Baj, it was very low. What about the Māori seats?
Yeah, well, there was a massive reduction in voter turnout. There's about 4,000 people per Māori electorate that didn't show up.
That didn't show up?
Basically. So, and if you look at the Māori Party results, basically they've all been halved. And of course, Rahui, heading out. So really there's some rebuilding that needs to go on there.
Why do you think that was, Rawiri Taonui, the very, very low turnout? Not just with Māori, because obviously, traditionally Māori don't get out there and vote, but overall too.
Well, I think in the Māori electorates, people are a bit mystified and unhappy with the ongoing fight between the M&M battle, if I could put it that way, between the Māori Party and the Mana Party. It's been a very interesting campaign to watch because Hone Harawira, in a sense, has become the diplomatic statesperson-like leader that Tariana and Peter said he always should be.
Who would have ever have thought that?
Yes.
Some of us thought that, didn't we?
Yes. But also some of the Māori Party policies are very Hone Heke Harawira-like. The tax on financial transactions and so on. So it'll be interesting to see whether they're able to sit down and talk over the next 3 years.
Willie, quite a share out, if you like, with the Māori seats, 3, 3 and 1. Yep. What do you make of it?
Well, as JT said, and I think I said on this program a few weeks ago, Rahui would be a casualty of the fight, and that's clearly the case. And if you look through the seats in Auckland here, Kelly Pene, Kirama Pene, he's a really neat guy, Kelly, but not well known in Auckland. Took a big chunk of Peter Sharple's vote, big chunk. And now in Auckland we've got a marginal seat. Wairiki, Annette Sykes fought a great fight down there, shut out Labour. So I think our people are waiting for these two groups to talk. The fight's not going to go...
The Mana Party and the Māori Party.
Look, if it goes on forever, Labour will come back and we'll get more parikuras and the Nais. I mean, that might be okay, I suppose. But this is about kaupapa Māori. Mana and the Māori Party have got to sort of lay down the arms and talk.
JT, where does Labour fit into this? You say that, that they're making a comeback, especially in the Māori seats. Talk to us more about that.
Well, they're the only bright spots. Let's look at the straight numbers. The straight numbers demonstrate that Labour is resurgent in every Māori seat. Shane Jones ran a very poor campaign against Pete. And I don't say that lightly. He's very good on the big marquee events, but he's very poor out there amongst the rank and file. And so Pete's majority down 90%. This is a big drop.
Just briefly, why do you think he took such a tumble in this vote?
There's no doubt some soul searching going to have to happen soon as the Māori Party. The Māori Party this time, if it does a deal with National, is going to have to put some very strong belts and braces around it, because there's no doubt that they've been adversely impacted by a taint that our people see.
With them working with National?
Yeah, well, they haven't been able to fully get over the line what they've achieved, you see. And so it's tough to be hold a leverage and as a minority party do business with the majority party, and it's tough to get that message across to your people, because often it's easy to say you're a sellout.
Maria Baj, I distinctly remember you saying that Rahui Kātene could be a casualty because she was the face of the seabed and foreshore legislation. Do you think that that's partly why she's lost the seat this time?
I did. I actually thought she would scrape through, despite what Willie was saying. But yeah, I think there's some of that there. But I just want to pick up on something John was just saying in terms of Labour being resurgent. Actually, the Green Party has been picking up most of the vote in the Māori seats. They're the real surge in the Māori seats. So if they actually stand candidates in all the seats next election, you know, there is some hope there. Mana Party was getting around 4%, 5% of the party vote in the electorates, so some real potential there for growth as well.
Rawiri, let's talk about the Greens. Some say that they, you know, clearly a good result for the Greens, but again, they're not going to be around the cabinet table.
No, and they have done well, but of course a lot of that goes down to the battle between the Maori Party and the Mana Party. And I think the next election is probably going to be more important than this one, with Tariana and Peter retiring. In terms of this election, Mana's done extraordinarily well. They had no electoral commission financial assistance. They had to put in place a party organisation and run a campaign at the same time. The Maori Party have done really well in terms of learning the lessons from the Te Tai Tokerau by-election. I think they've really consolidated the party, and to be frank, for the most part, they've managed to avoid too much flack around the relationship with National and foreshore and seabed and so on.
Let's further explore that concept, Willie Jackson. The Mana Party, have they set themselves up well? Looking at the Māori Party, looking at how Tariana, this is her last term, possibly the last term too for Sharples. Talk to us about those machinations.
Oh, no, absolutely. You see, Hone and them will know. I mean, if they talk and they can get an agreement, that'll be great. I suspect that they won't, because it's not in our whakapapa. We just keep fighting until everything dies. So I suspect there'll be no agreement. So the next 3 years will be Mana attacking Mana attacking the Māori Party, because the Māori Party are doing a deal with National, as they should. As they should, because you know, they've got some great kaupapas that they're working on, particularly whānau ora. But you know, any nonsense from Labour that the Māori Party shouldn't do a deal with National is just nonsense, because they're morally obliged to. They've got kaupapa on the table that they need to work through, but it's the belts and braces that JT talks about that'll be important when they do the deal. They've got to do the deal, do it well, and try and advance kaupapa. But Mana, for Mana, if they're going to war, to be ideal if they continue, if the Māori Party continues with
Thank you all. We will come back, but let's put a few of your issues and a few of your comments to our group of MPs who are standing by now. Let's perhaps pick up the point, Tariana Turia, Dr. Sharples, around what you're going to do from here on. And let's start off with you.